That Morden, it's a short distance from Ballyhonest to Westport, but you came the long way around. Tell us about your young days in Ballyhonest.
Well, I certainly did. I lived in Ballyhonest until I was 18, and obviously went to school there and all the rest of it. And then at 12, there was no boys' secondary school in Ballyhonest in those days, so you either had to go away to school or you didn't go to secondary school. So I was sent off to St. Jarlath's in Hume.
What year was that about?
1951.
51.
And 1951 I went off there to Jarlath's, and I can remember it well. Dark, cold night in September, and going into the big halls in Jarlath's, being greeted in the hallway by the president. My mother was with me, and a little chat, and not too long then I was taken off and upstairs and showed my place in the dorm. And
did you enjoy it there?
oh, I enjoyed Jarlath's, yeah. Not while I was there, but afterwards I look back on it.
Was it strict?
It was very strict. And it was strict and tough.
Tough.
And you were there for one thing. You were being prepared for the priesthood, and that was it.
What percentage turned out to be priests of your class, would you think?
Oh, of my class, I think more than 50% went on to the priesthood. As many as possible went to Maynooth, because Jarlath's was the diocesan college. So there'd always be 5 or 6 going to Jarlath's.
So you didn't take that track? You went
to Maynooth.
What did you do next then?
No, I was one of the guys that they missed. And I graduated in 56. And I had been looking around for a job or a career, and frankly there was nothing. To me it was just a desert. There were no jobs.
In Ireland?
In Ireland. And most of the guys that could afford it were going to university. And
did many go to university from your class? Of the half?
A good few, I wouldn't know now, but a good few. An awful lot of them went, I think about 50% of my total class went for the priesthood. Now that meant they went to different things, St. Columban's, the Columban Fathers, Kilteague and various places. And whoever got into Maynooth, got into Maynooth.
And what did the rest of them do, do you think?
The rest were like me.
Immigration?
Most of them I'd say would face immigration. I met a lot of them afterwards. I took off for London, myself and 3 lads from Connemara, and we were the same class in Jarlath's, and we were obviously friendly. And one of them had a cousin in London, and he got us a boarding house where we were able to sleep 2 to a room, bed sitter, and we set up there. And my first job in London, I remember as well, was with in Cadby Hall with Lyons Tea, making pies. We were on a big production line, and I settled in London, and for once I collected my first paycheck. It was nearly 12 quid a week we were making, working nights.
Wasn't bad money.
It was good money, you know, good enough money in those days. And if you were careful now, you could save 4 or 5, which was my intention, to save money and go back to university. But sure, like every other good intention, I didn't save the money. I spent it. various things, including women.
Did you spend long in England?
I was nearly 3 years in England. I actually started studying at night school in England. I got in with, I was a labourer in construction work, and I got in on the site, and the foreman was very bad at paperwork. So I went into the office as a labourer, being paid as a labourer, but I was doing all his paperwork. And then they found out about it at head office, and the next thing I knew was I was offered a job up in the head office, but it was only for £5 a week. £5 a week was a very little bit to live on by the time you paid the landlady and eat. It was tough going. There was hardly enough left to eat.
So then at the end
so I went and they paid for the night school.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to work as a quantity surveyor, an assistant quantity surveyor in their surveying department. And did that, and didn't particularly care for it much.
What company was that, can you remember?
I do. It was a company called Robert Hart Limited. Robert Hart and Son Limited on Victoria Street, the head office, because the reason I know is after working on the sites in the offices, in the site offices, they brought me into the head office, into the surveying, quantity surveying group there, and that's when I was fairly serious about it. But it was all math and drawing. I couldn't draw, and math wasn't my favourite subject. And it didn't suit me. It was one of those things. It was there, and I took it. It was a career.
What did
Eventually, I decided I don't know how I got it into my head, but I got it into my head I was going to save enough money, go to the States, and go to university out there somehow.